Welcome to the Ability Beyond Resource Center. Module 3, Housing and Daily Life. This resource center has been developed to help families of individuals living with disabilities navigate the transition process when school-based services end and adult life begins. In the Housing and Daily Life module, we will answer a variety of questions relating to housing options and maximizing independence in adult life, including: what does having a home of your own and leading a meaningful daily life look like? Why is getting a home of his or her own and having a satisfying daily life so important to my child? What skills does my child need to live safely and happily in the community? Who can help my child live safely and happily in the community? And how do I move forward to help my child get and keep housing and lead a meaningful life? All modules contain supplemental materials and worksheets in PDF format. You may choose to either pause the video now and download the material or wait until after viewing the full module. So let's begin. A home of your own does not necessarily mean that you actually own your own home. What it means is that you live in a place that has permanency and security for you until you decide to move. Your home is your castle. You decide, as long as it's safe, helps you feel valued and productive and legal, how to decorate, what schedule to keep, what to do in your free time, who can come to visit, and so on. These things are not decided by staff for the convenience of the majority. You should have age-appropriate control over your life, even if you need support, natural or paid, to do this. You are as independent and self-directed as you can be. This applies to how you spend your time in the community. These are the same freedoms people without disabilities generally have. A caveat: don't rush out to rent or buy property assuming that the state will provide staffing. And why not? Because there are very limited options through state and/or federally funded small group living arrangements with private providers. You need to meet eligibility criteria to access these, and there has to be sufficient funding for your child. However, exceptions may be made in emergency situations, in which case funding will be made available. Don't rely on the availability of these as your child nears adulthood. As state budgets come under pressure, social services programs continue to be cut. There are numerous creative housing options to consider: duplexes or multi-story homes, mother-in-law apartments, granny pods, aka tiny houses, apartment buildings, condominiums, whatever's available through Section 8 housing vouchers, and shared living with a host family. But don't be discouraged. There are so many things to consider as you plan for your child to live in the community without you. A detailed list of the following topics is available in the PDF worksheets. These include having meaningful relationships and spending time with friends, recreational activities and ways to spend leisure time, such as sports, parks and rec activities, community groups, volunteerism, museums, and libraries. Access to transportation, including public transportation, disability-specific ride services, Uber or Lyft, taxis, or carpooling. Accessing common community resources such as grocery and home goods stores, laundromat, bank, emergency care, food pantries, thrift stores, etc. Also, paid and unpaid people supports. You should consider options of meeting your child's daily needs without paid staff if possible. If there are no social services funds available, private pay is always an option if you can afford it. You can also design supports through home modifications such as adapted living space, universal design, environmental safety technology, personal safety devices, and remote monitoring. We invite you to visit the Ability Beyond Empowering Technology Resource Center to learn about a variety of adaptive technologies. Be sure to also consider your child's safety and the skills that she or he needs to live safely and happily in the community. Is she or he going to be safe if unsupervised? What basic self-care skills do they possess? And what is the emergency plan, etc.? Refer to the worksheets for a full list of questions. The term dignity of risk means respecting each individual's autonomy without undue risk and supporting self-determination or dignity to make choices for himself or herself. Remember, everybody makes mistakes. Most mistakes can be fixed, and all mistakes offer opportunities to learn how not to repeat mistakes in the future. From a parent's perspective, this means not being overly cautious and overprotective. Everyone experiences some risk. Everyone has a right to make non-life-threatening mistakes and learn from them, and everyone has a right to be as independent as possible. Again, no one is ever suggesting that you put your son or daughter in harm's way intentionally. Due diligence is necessary to take care of potential issues in advance as much as possible. Even the law, as will be seen in Module 7, recognizes that it is not always ideal to be protected from bad decisions we make as adults. Remember, none of us has a total guarantee of absolute safety 100% of the time. Self-determination is a right, not a privilege. Self-determination increases independence and self-esteem. The time to act is now. Start researching the options discussed in this module before your son or daughter has to be moved to a place that will certainly not feel familiar or home-like. Although there are some good how-to resources listed in the supplemental materials, housing is often considered too late. For example, when a family member can no longer take care of a loved one with a disability due to age or other life circumstances. Remember, in the words of Dorothy, there's no place like home. Now please take the time to review the supplemental materials, which includes worksheets to help you plan. Thank you for watching the Housing and Daily Life video. If you have questions or would like to speak with someone about services, please contact us at 888-832-8247. Please share a resource center with your friends and colleagues.